Moon signs. The position of the moon in your horoscope is second only in importance to the position of the sun. The sun sign is the part of you that is most apparent on the surface. It is what others see. The moon sign is the part of you that you see. In astrology, the moon stands for emotions, instincts, the unconscious. Whereas the sun represents your will, the moon represents your instinctive reactions. Evangeline Adams, the most famous astrologer of the early 20th century, wrote that the sun signifies your individuality and the moon signifies your personality. Other astrologers define the sun's influence as a vital force and the moon as an unconscious force. In essence, the moon represents the side of you that reacts before you have time to think. The distinction in astrology between the influence of the sun and the moon is a forerunner of Sigmund Freud's theory of the ego and the id in human personality. According to Freud, the ego is a person's consciousness, symbolized in astrology by the sun, and the id represents a person's instinct, the moon. In many ways your moon personality is the one you keep hidden. Human beings tend to disapprove of instinctive behavior. We call it uncivilized, primitive, animalistic. Thus, in certain respects, your moon personality is a part of yourself that you find disturbing. It is your inner core, which feels hate and jealousy, broods and is fearful, and has fantasies that you often deny even to yourself. Of course, this is not the complete picture of the moon's influence on your personality. It is also your moon side that can spontaneously feel and express joy and pleasure, the side that reacts to emotional stimuli. It is the part of you that enjoys the little sensualities of life, the perfumed aroma of flowers, the smell of the grass after it rains, the delight of a long, hot shower. The moon is inextricably linked to what might be called your reaction to your environment, for the moon has rulership over the five senses: sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. In astrology, the meaning of the moon can become very esoteric. The moon also stands for infancy, childhood, your dreams, memory, and your past. All these words might be summed up as your inner psyche. As the astrologer Landis Knight Green says, the moon is the threshold of the subconscious. Often your moon personality is expressed in dreams, both the daydreams you brush aside as you go on with your daily responsibilities and the sleeping dreams that haunt your waking hours. Because the moon holds dominion over the emotional sphere, it influences your receptivity to others and also how others feel about you. Obviously, therefore, the moon is an extremely important factor in love relationships. A strong and lasting bond is indicated in a relationship when a woman has her moon in the same sign in which a man has his sun. For example, if he is a Scorpio sun sign and she has her moon in Scorpio, they have an excellent chance of a long relationship because each will have a deep understanding of the other. Many people ask me, how can two people who have the same sun sign be so different from each other? I usually answer this question by asking another question. What are the moon signs of these two people? Let's take a brief look at two well-known Sagittarian entertainers, Woody Allen and Bette Midler. They were born on the same day, December 1st, Woody Allen in 1935 and Bette Midler in 1944. In both people we see the strong Sagittarius qualities of humor, independence, frankness, and a candid openness of expression. Woody Allen has a brilliant, funny, barbed wit that appeals to intellectuals. He is an auteur who produces, writes, directs, and stars in his own films made totally outside the studio system. Bette Midler began her career doing over-the-edge comedy routines in the bathhouses of Lower Manhattan, playing to mostly homosexual audiences. She has gone on to major stardom in films, stage, and television, as a comedian, singer, and dramatic actress, always playing someone a bit outrageous, wacky, and rule-bending. Both entertainers have had long careers in which they broke free of boundaries and expressed their forward-thinking ideas through a sense of humor. Let's look further. Woody Allen has his moon in Aquarius. He displays the rebellious attitude of the free-thinking Aquarius moon person who lives life his own way. In his politics, creative work, and private life he is controversial, radical, and progressive. He also exhibits the emotional detachment of an Aquarius moon. His film roles are not deeply passionate. His characters speak trenchantly about the human condition, but don't grab the audience's emotions. Instead, they offer Aquarian intellectual stimulation and tickle the funny bone. Aquarius moon people can coldly break off relationships, and the public has witnessed this in Woody Allen's ongoing private soap operas with the women in his life. Bette Midler has her moon in Cancer, and in her we see an emotional quality. She communicates great feeling in her work, and her characters exhibit a certain Cancerian vulnerability. She plays lovable, spunky, and endearing women who reach out and care for others, a Cancer moon specialty. As a singer, Bette Midler has recorded hit songs that have a deeply emotional appeal, including The Wind Beneath My Wings, a song about being supported by love, a Cancer moon theme. In her private life, which in Cancer moon fashion she keeps private, she has been in a stable and enduring marriage and raised a family. Throughout history the moon has been studied, revered, and worshipped. In ancient civilizations the moon deity, usually a goddess, reigned side by side with the sun. In some religions the moon was even more powerful than the sun because it dispensed wisdom and spiritual knowledge. The Romans set aside a sacred feast day for the moon. The name for it persists to modern times, though we now call it Monday rather than Moon Day. Scientists are still studying the moon's power over plant life, tides, emotions, fertility, menstruation, biorhythms, and crime. Astrologers continue to find new and subtle ways in which the moon influences our daily lives. The moon in your horoscope modifies your sun sign. It brings new forces, different motivations, and special elements to the character of your sun sign. Your sun sign personality and moon sign personality are a blend, a marriage. As in a marriage, disparate elements sometimes work together to form a compatible partnership, each lending the other its strengths. But sometimes there is conflict in which opposing traits collide with each other. If you feel that you are in constant conflict with yourself, if you feel you are two different people torn and pulled by each other, astrology can help you. Study both your sun sign and moon sign. Learn the positive and negative sides to these signs and try to recognize these elements within yourself. You may find that with a deeper understanding of the forces that motivate you, you will learn to be less hard on yourself and to reconcile what seems to be a confusing whirl of contradictions. On the other hand, if your sun and moon are in the same sign, you will probably find the characteristics of that sign doubly reinforced in your personality. Know thyself. This is what the ancient Greeks carved on the temple at Delphi. It is an ideal that human beings have struggled toward for thousands of years. It is what astrology can teach us.